Yeah, hi there. And these comments are for, I'm going to just use the first letter of your first name, G. And let's take a look at your specific situation. So you're from Turkey, you are a research assistant, and you want to get a government scholarship, but to do that, you have to get 85 to 90 on the TOEFL IBT. So you took the TOEFL test once, your score was 65 in January 2012, and before the test you prepared for 2 months by myself when I did the test at home, but after I was disappointed about the TOEFL, so I gave up to study. I attended another language school for 2 months. You were in America for 3 months, looks like about a year ago. And I think that your question is, how long will it take you to go from 65 to 85, right? Now, I think I can answer this question. I get a lot of questions, but I don't always, I can't exactly see a crystal ball. Now remember that my answer to your question presupposes that you are ready to really seriously study for the TOEFL. Now, I think that you're ready because you probably would not have contacted me at my website if you had not been ready to study the TOEFL, right? So here we are. Okay, most students, G, when they study at my online TOEFL course, they usually improve about 5 to 10 points for each month that they use my course. Now that's assuming that once you become one of my students, you begin to study all of my lessons. I have almost 360 TOEFL lessons right now, beginning with vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, and writing and speaking lessons. I mean, even just this last weekend, G, I just created 20 more independent writing practice tests for my online students so they can get more feedback from me or from my TOEFL writing and speaking specialist, Jacob, who also teaches with me at California State University, San Bernardino. So you want to get 20 points, right? So I'm guessing that it'll take you anywhere from 2 to 4 months for you to reach your goal. Remember, you have a lot of language issues that you need to solve. I can tell from just looking at the comment that you made. I mean, I can just tell by looking at that there are a lot of language issues, vocabulary and grammar issues that you have to solve, and I'm also guessing you probably have some pronunciation problems that you want to work on and a few other things. So what do? Here's my recommendation. Once you become one of my students, G, or Melike, as you call yourself, I will send you your username and your password. And guess what? Your username and your password will be your email address, number one. And that gives you access to all 360 of my TOEFL lessons. Probably about 190 hours of instruction I have right now on the internet. So the next thing that you want to do is to start going through those lessons. Now, you have complete access to all lessons at all times. I don't restrict your using anything. I only have really some basic rules. Because I do have quite a few students, do not post more than one speaking practice test per day at my VoxyPop discussion group. Because if you post one per day, that will give me enough time to give you feedback and to also give feedback to all my other students who are also practicing their speaking and their pronunciation. Now the second rule is only do one writing practice test per day. And I have 30 independent writing practice tests right now. I have 10 integrated writing practice tests, so that gives you a total of 40. So if you do one each day, I mean, you could do one each day for 40 days, and you still have more to do at my website. But the main thing, Melike, after you do a writing or speaking practice test, you'll get some feedback from us. We'll give you some tips. We'll tell you what your problems are, and we'll also recommend specific lessons to help you get going in the right direction. So that's kind of how that works. So anyway, let's go back to my lesson plan, or my suggestion. I should say course plan for you. In terms of managing your time, I'd recommend the following. For month 1, you can focus in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar parts of my course. For month 2, you can focus in the listening and reading aspects of my course. And then for month 3, you can focus in the writing and the speaking parts of my course. That's just my own suggestion, right? And that way, you can schedule time each week to focus in those different areas. So what you can do is you get a calendar out, and you know that for your first month, you're focusing in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar areas. So when you write out your 7 days, you'll start off with vocabulary practice, then pronunciation practice, then grammar practice. Then you'll go back to vocabulary practice, then pronunciation practice, then grammar practice. So for your first week, that covers 6 days. You've had at least, 2 hours in all of those different areas. The main thing is you want to balance your study. Don't just study only pronunciation, but it's a good idea to look at those 3 different areas all at the same time, and that can really have a big impact on your language proficiency later on down the line. Because I know you want to score 85, but the fact is you're 65 right now. You have some real language problems that you want to solve. So once you become one of my students, each month you can get your calendar out each week, and you can plan out what you're doing. Now remember, when you do complete a writing or speaking practice test, it usually takes me about 24 hours to give you a score. So you can kind of plan on that also. All right. Anyway, Melike, thank you for your comments. Thank you for making a comment at my Better TOEFL Scores website. And if you like my course, tell somebody. You might have another friend in Turkey who, like you, also wants to improve his or her TOEFL score. You can tell them about my course at bettertoeflscores.com. Now, if anybody else is watching the video, you guys also, if you are in need of an online course and you need to pass the TOEFL or reach your TOEFL goal in the not so distant future, maybe this month or next month or the month after that, you can certainly join my course and to help you, reach those goals. So everybody and my YouTube users, you guys have happy holidays and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.